What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 stocks that ARK Invest cannot stop buying. They just keep adding to their position. They've been adding for a few months now, and these stocks are going to be very interesting to watch for 2021. The last stock that I'm going to go over is going to be the stock that I think has the highest probability of making the highest gains this year. So make sure you watch to the end if you want to see what exactly that stock is. Now, before we get into all of that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It makes sure that you're never late on all of my videos and you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks and maybe even learn about a couple of new ones. So ARK is a pretty widely respected firm. If you didn't know, they have a couple of ETFs that are actively traded, which makes it a pretty solid investment. And Cathie Wood is the person who runs this company, and she is a very successful investor. Now, typically, the S&P 500 goes up between 7 and 11% every year, which is kind of the standard growth rate of the market. But if we go over and take a look at one of these ARK ETFs, ARK-K, we can see that it started 2020 at around the $50 mark and went as high as $135. So these actively traded ETFs are an amazing option to have some safety and also have a piece of some pretty massive companies that are also getting a lot of growth. The first stock that we're going to be going over is teledoc. Now, if you've watched any of ARK's trades recently, you can see that in 2020, they could not stop buying this company. So they started scaling in their position in around August with about 800,000 shares at a price of $223 a share. They continuously bought, they were dollar cost averaging all the way up to here and then started absolutely ramping up their position size all the way up to where it is now at about 3.9 million shares. Now that's a very big position for ARK to be taking in this company, and here's why I think ARK has so much confidence in teledoc. So essentially what teledoc is it's a telehealth company. So it allows individuals to have personalized healthcare, but it's all virtual. So members of this company and software are allowed to have full doctor's evaluations and patient visits all through the internet, which is a very important tool to have, especially in 2020 with everything that we had going on. If we go over and take a look at the yearly chart of teledoc, we can see that it started the year 2020 at around $86 and went all the way up to the $250 range. Now, if you got in early on teledoc in 2020, you did absolutely amazing, and right now you're sitting in an amazing position for 2021. It's good to see ARK, an actively traded firm of that size, keeps adding to a stock like this, and they just keep putting money into it, creating a nice average and a base in their position size. So I think that it's a very good sign in that investors should have a lot of confidence in this company going forward, as I see that telehealth is going to be very important continuing through 2021. Now, comment down below in the comments if you guys think that telehealth is going to be important. I think it is, but I want to know what you guys are thinking as well. Now, the next stock that I have for you guys is going to be Baidu. So Baidu is basically the Google of China. So they're a very big company in the Chinese market. So we can see that ARK kind of scaled in with 173,000 shares and just kept buying. And as we saw in December, Baidu went on an absolute tear, and here's why. So if we go over here, we can see that this is an article about Baidu, why Baidu stocks soared 55.6% in December. So electric vehicle stocks have been incredibly hot over the last year. So we all know that NIO was memed all over the place, went up at a crazy amount. So did Tesla, LI, and XPeng. So they all posted huge gains, and investors have scrambled to get a piece of what could be a powerful long-term growth trend. Now, here's what's important. We've seen some of these bigger companies try to get a piece of the electric vehicle market, and it looks like Baidu is going to be doing that as well. So Baidu has technology expertise that could make it a strong player in the electric vehicle space. And the excitement surrounding the company's potential entrance into the electric vehicle market helped the stock close out 2020 with a gain of roughly 71% on the year. That is a huge gain. If we can see Baidu keep coming out with some announcements that they're going to be entering the electric vehicle market, this stock is going to go crazy. Now, taking a look at the chart of Baidu, we can see just how massive this move towards the end of the year was when some of these electric vehicle rumors started coming out. So it started the year at about $138, a pretty respectable price for Baidu. And during the crash, it really took a massive hit and went all the way down into the $80 range. But it kind of had a recovery like most stocks did, had a little bit of a dip in November, but absolutely went crazy after. It went from the $130 range all the way up to where it's trading now at $216. Now, I think that Baidu has a lot more room left to run if they can release some more electric vehicle news. Now, it's all kind of speculation right now, but that's something to be on the lookout for in 2021. Now, this next stock that I'm going to go over is the most important stock on this list. So make sure you guys are paying attention. I think that this has the highest probability of having the most gains in 2020 out of all of the stocks on this list. So this stock is going to be NNDM, Nano Dimension. So we can see that ARK started buying when the stock was around $1.70, and they just kept buying more. We can see that they had a couple massive jumps in their position. They went from about 486,000 shares to about 1.8 million. That is a really big jump, and that was at a price of about $3.13, and they just kept buying all the way up, and now it's trading at around $8.53. What's important about this buying behavior, however, is we can see that they jumped their share position by about double right here. They went from 4.58 million to about 8.35 million, and now they're at about 8.5 million shares at a price of $8.53. So they're buying a lot of shares at the current highs. So I think that ARK is speculating that NNDM is going to go a lot higher in 2021, and I think their price target is going to be around $15 to $20 before they start taking profit. So when the stock is currently trading at $8.53, there's a lot more room to go. Now, the reason why NNDM has been such a talked about company over the past couple of months is that it has this system called the Dragonfly LDM. Essentially what it is it's a very intricate 3D printing system, and it allows companies to 3D print very complex circuitry. So semiconductors, they're even starting to get into the medical space. So in the future, we could see 3D printing of medical equipment like pacemakers, which would be a massive upgrade for NNDM. So this Dragonfly LDM product costs about between $150,000 and $300,000 US. So it's a very expensive product, but it's a very cost-effective solution for companies that can use it. So if they can expand their market in 2020, they could go from only selling 60 units to 120 to 500, and they're going to get their products all around the world. Recently, NNDM did a share offering to raise funds. Now, this was a very interesting move by them. They already had a lot of cash on hand, so it's very strange why they would want to raise so much more cash. Here's why I am speculating what they might use this cash for. So the company says that it will use the capital raised for working capital and other general corporate purposes, including seeking out strategic opportunities and acquisitions. So it looks like NNDM might be looking to acquire another company to help out with the distribution or the creation of their technologies, or they're going to merge with another company. Either way, this is great news for NNDM in the long term. If they say that they're going to acquire another company, we could see a short-term dip in share price, because that's usually what happens when companies say they're acquiring another company, like we saw with Salesforce and Work, ticker symbol, or it was Slack, the ticker symbol is Work. When Salesforce released that they were looking at acquiring Slack, Salesforce kind of had a pretty big pullback, but Slack went way up. So it's going to be interesting to see how NNDM moves off of this announcement, but either way, it's going to help the company in the long run. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed me going over these stocks, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out with growing on this platform so I can get all of this information out to as many people as possible. I hope you guys have a really profitable first week of 2021, and I'll see you guys in the next video.